the staff, the players, the fans, and a big shout out to them. Thank you so much. Thank you to you guys for covering everything over the 34 match days. Carrying the story and this wonderful historic journey that we're on. Yeah, then we get to the game. I think in the first 2-3 minutes, we could have had 2 goals and really set the scene here. And really had an objective in mind to be, clinical, lethal. And unfortunately, they get 2 moments and score 2 goals. From a ball that, is it out? Was it not? I mean, I clearly see it out of bounds. I'm not sure what somebody else sees. And then you get caught chasing the game a little bit. You get chasing, and then there's decisions. I thought there should have been a red card very early on for Zaha. And then, we don't react on those. And then it just escalates, right? I mean, we play a certain way. There's all the time stoppages, the time wastages from the goalkeeper, Colleen, on goal kicks. We at 0-0, we get blown the whistle with Andre to hurry up the play. We already getting blown the whistle. For them, it just takes 5, 6, 8 moments before they blow the whistle. And at what moment is there a consequence? Because if you don't act on those moments, then all of a sudden it escalates like it did. And, just unfortunate for the way things ended. So, we'll just have to make sure we control our emotions and make sure that this is who we are. So we embrace this. We train like this every single day. So, I feel we're primed for these. Sometimes I feel that, other people are not.
All right, thanks, Bradley. Todd?
Thanks, Nico. Bradley, you had mentioned it right there, how you believe the ball went out of play for the first goal that Charlotte scored. It was hard to see on the broadcast. Did you ever get a explanation about if that went off or not?
No, that's unfortunately we live in the clear and obvious. And if you have no, camera angles, there cannot be a clear and obvious, right? So there's always a grade of grayscale. And yeah, who am I to talk about that, right? I mean, I can't prove it was out. I can't disprove it was in. Yeah. So, anyways, it is what it is, but it's frustrating.
And then Bedoya gets to start tonight, and then you eventually bring in Indiana Vasilev, who seemed to bring a lot of energy to the game tonight with chances created, a lot of shots. I guess the decision to start Ale, and then what you thought Indy brought to the game tonight.
Yeah, well, Ali gets a chance very early on with a cutback, and normally he finishes those, after his cup of tea in the morning. So I think, yeah, it's just unfortunate. And on the turf, we know, and we had to distribute the minutes amongst everybody here today pretty much. And happy everybody got a run, happy everybody got minutes, just to stay sharp. Just got to make sure we're looking after our bodies. I know Jovan on the turf, it's never easy to cover the ground he does and feel something. Then we had to, with all the cautions, make sure that, we treat Danley in the right way, because if he gets a red card or a double yellow, then it's a suspension in the playoffs. The same thing with Nate. So we strategically had to then make shift a couple of things. So, I think with a second half performance like that, I was really proud of that, and it's good momentum going into the playoffs.
Jonathan?
Thanks, Nico. Bradley, I'm sorry that I've been away for the last couple of weeks, but we all understand how badly you all wanted to win this game, both for its own sake, for the standings, records, and all that. But where after that on the priority list were no red cards and no injuries, which you were able to accomplish?
Sorry, what's your question?
Where after that, how important also was it to have no red cards and no injuries, which you were able to accomplish?
Yeah, you saw us make changes, so that's how high priority it was. Because I said to Nate, the way the referee or the way the things are going, that's an automatic easy one for them. So I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to protect you. Going to protect Danley. I think Bruno, did just enough to make sure he didn't fall into that sort of level of if it's a defensive transition, you're always worried about the plays, late challenges, desperate challenges from our sixes and center backs and outside backs. So that was the order of priority, and that's how we went about it.
And to follow up on something you said to Todd's question, were the halftime subs sort of pre-planned at all, or were they reactions?
A bit of both. We were thinking of 50-55, set the tone for the second half, like just start the game in the right way. but we were trailing 2-0. So, at that point, just to give guys like a fresh, just a fresh look from the very beginning and give us, and I think it was the right decision because looking at the second half and, you can argue that was probably one of our best second halves of the year away from home.
I have one more and I don't see any other hands up, Nico.
Yeah, go ahead.
You brought in Cavan for his longest run with the first team in a while. What went into that, and what did you see? And knowing that will be his last run with the first team for a while since he's off to the under-17 World.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's all, listen, Kevin preparing for the World Cup at the U17 level. We have to make sure we, send him off in the right way possible. And he's been training well. So, we thought we reward him away from home here. And I thought he did well. He could have, got on the score sheet once or twice. And he was a busybody. He's counter presses really well. He came in and he made an impact. Indy made an impact. Choo made an impact. Tyberibo, magnificent, made an impact. So everyone we asked to come in and do something, they did exactly what was asked of them. So, but happy for Kevin because you can just see he's progressing in the right way possible.
And final question, we go to Kyle.
Hey Bradley, just your thoughts on Frankie tonight. I mean, just coming back from U20s. I mean, very limited role, but what'd you think of him? And also, what'd you think of McConaughey tonight too?
Yeah, good. I mean, McCann doesn't get spoken about enough, and he does it week in and week out against one of the hottest strikers, and like I said, it's just 2 moments, and I don't think he's to blame on any of the goals. I wouldn't even look at that, and I think he's done excellent. He's had an excellent season. He's done way more than we've asked of him. Him and Jacob formed a great relationship very early on. So yeah, listen, I hope he continues to grow from strength to strength, and he's got a good backup or support group around him. And I thought Frankie was excellent. He came in and it told him exactly, he could see the spaces that we were creating and what we were trying to do. And Nate goes out from a very good game, and Frankie steps in and has a very good continuation of exactly what we're trying to do.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bradley. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Good night.